How are you? How has your day been?
As usual.
As you-
Great.
Okay. So in most of your videos, you usually use the words like great or excellent. I'm
Yes.
doing fantastic.
Yes.
So are you
Awesome.
optimistic?
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So you're an optimistic? You think positive always?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
More than 100%.
Okay. So it is something that we have to develop, right? The quality. Because sometimes you go through such situations in your life which will, channelize your thoughts in a certain way. So it is very difficult to stay optimistic. Like, do you train yourself or do you manifest?
Yes.
What do you do?
No, I train myself. No, I train. I have trained myself like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was a conscious effort
Okay. And yeah, I
over
think
a
still
period
it
of
is.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There is now it's become a habit. So it comes naturally, but it wasn't easy to develop this. It has taken me some years.
Yeah, of course. And do you like
Yeah.
manifest it? Do you actually, I want to know is, do you actually feel that I am awesome right now?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
you try to
Yes.
make it better?
I visualize it, what I
Hmm.
want to be.
Okay.
Maybe that's what you call it as manifestation. I
Yeah,
use the
like,
word visualization. Yeah,
uh,
I use the word visualization. I visualize it that whatever I want to do or whatever I want to achieve or whatever I want to aim and whatever I like, I visualize myself doing that. I visualize like before this meeting also, I visualize myself talking to Shanta. So now it's become a habit. So it happens, it just happens without my, like knowledge, very subconsciously.
okay, okay. It doesn't take any effort at all for you. But does it work?
Yeah. Now, at least, yeah, I feel it works. Yes. Yes.
But when it comes to me, it's hard to stay. I kind of get ready for the worst situation. Like sometimes I feel it is better to be prepared so
Uh,
that nothing can disturb you or pull you more down or make you feel
yeah.
negative
Even I
once
am that kind.
you're ready
Even I
for.
am that kind. I am a prepared, I am an organized person. I feel like I should organize everything beforehand because I think it comes from the fact that you feel that you are in control. You have things under your control so that you know that I want it to go a certain way. But
Mm,
sometimes we have also to, leave some gap for things to happen on their own also. We should be able to cope up that also. Some things are not like maybe I am visualizing, I have visualized it. I'm going to talk to Shanta. This is this. But Shanta may spring a surprise or two. I don't know. Correct?
yeah.
So I should be in a position to cope up with that. Maybe that's what people call it thinking on your feet, which I was very bad at. I'm just, practicing it yet.
Yeah. All we have control is over ourselves, but not the situation.
Correct.
Like whatever the
Correct.
situation, I have to behave in a certain way.
Correct.
That's what we can be prepared
Correct.
for.
Correct. 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 Correct.
Right. So,
And
like,
I have confidence on myself. Like I know that whatever comes, I can, bring it on types.
hmm,
So, so that doesn't deter me. But
yeah.
mind you, it takes a lot of effort and it is not an easy thing. It's an ongoing thing. But
Mm,
till it becomes a habit, it is a little bit difficult. But once it becomes a habit, then your mind start thinking like that.
Also, you have to go through a lot to be in order to be ready for whatever comes. I will take in. What more worst can happen? We have undergone so much. Then let it come. We'll take it in.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. That's because, like when you reach to the bottom, minus. So then you know that there is no going down further. There's only an upward arrow.
What more can you lose? So it's like whatever happens.
Correct. Exactly.
Mm.
True, true, true.
So you spent some part of your life in North India, right? Before coming to South India. So how old were you when
Yeah.
you like shifted from North to South?
I was, say, around 24,
24.
24 years old. Yeah.
But before that
24. Yeah.
itself, you knew English, right? Like from your childhood, you have been
Yeah.
learning.
I know English.
So
Yes.
like you
Yes.
had an
The reason is
environment.
because
Mhm.
not only I was in an English medium convent school, but I was in a boarding school where I had to come back and speak English even in the boarding. So
Oh,
that's how I got into that habit. Suppose generally, if we are in a convent school or an English medium school, not necessary that we speak English very well. isn't it? Because we come back home and we speak our mother tongue.
Yeah, yeah.
And with people around, we speak the commonly spoken language. But
Hmm.
for us, we were living in a convent boarding school. So we had to come back and speak English only. So that's how, like English, yeah. So that makes a lot of difference.
It does, yeah. Because at school, maybe someone might pressurize you to do it, to talk in English, but after coming back, you tend to
Yeah,
ignore. How nicely it
correct.
has worked in your favor.
Correct. Correct. It's like as though, like things were predestined that knowing that, this, she's going to go through this path. So she needs to be trained in a certain way.
Mm.
Now that I'm looking back, I can, like I can see that story. But at that time, I didn't know, isn't it, that what's going to happen, like in my future and, how all, but it all worked out for the better.
Mm. I was thinking that though you lived in a boarding school, but still you knew the outside environment, what kind of people are there, right? So I'm talking about the
Yeah.
environment of North India and South India. Because many people
Yeah.
assume that,
Yeah.
oh, you are from South India, that is why you know English. I don't think that is true. But I want to know from your end, like you have spent considerable
Uh,
time in both the.
Yeah, I think, but it is people's perception. But I think there is a little bit, maybe a little bit of truth is there because people of South India are a little bit, I mean, like maybe English comes to them. How do I put it? We know English, though we're not able to speak it very fluently, but we are not
Yeah.
as bad as people of North India without, demeaning anybody. Uh,
Okay.
that's what I feel.
Okay.
There is that little bit of I don't know, Shanta, because maybe it's to do with what do you call it? Our like we are South Indians are considered to be more, what do you call it, more intelligent, and like without like I'm not demeaning anybody, but that's what the perception is. The general perception is South Indians, then you can do maths well. South Indians, oh, then you will be good at calculation. That's how people generalize you.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know how, I don't know how true it is or how false it is.
Hmm. But I've heard many people also associate it with English learning. Like you're from South, that's
Yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
your English is good.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
Mm.
that is the perception in the north. That is the perception in the north.
Mm.
But I feel it comes from where, in the north, people will not even understand, leave alone speaking back. Even if you speak to them in English, they won't be able to understand. But comparatively, in south, they will understand, though they may not know how to speak it very fluently, but they will understand what you're trying to tell, and they'll be able to, like kind of guide you.
Mm.
Maybe,
Right.
maybe,
Yeah.
that may be the case. Yeah.
Mm, mm,
I'm not
mm.
very sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the next question I wanted to ask you was like, you were in a male dominated work area, right? Like market research,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of the.
Yeah.
So have you ever been discriminated on the basis of gender, be it personally or professionally?
No, no. The reason for that was because of my boss. He was not that kind of a person. So he didn't give us that kind of an environment. And he saw to it that we worked with people who were not, like who didn't have that kind of thinking. So maybe luckily I didn't
Mm.
have that. And I didn't face any of that in my job. I've never faced this in my job.
Okay. Like I think you stuck to the same job for many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your boss never changed.
Uh, my boss never changed, and not only that, but maybe sometimes when, because I had to travel, when I used to go to north, people used to wonder, Ki, madam, how come you have come alone all the way from there? Only their first question will be, madam, how do you speak Hindi so well, and how do
Mm.
you come all the way alone? Like, aren't you, like scared or
Scared.
afraid because you have to travel so much? So for them it was a very surprising thing, which didn't generally happen in the north.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
exactly.
the
And
question
I
that
think
I was.
even
Yeah, yeah.
in South
Often
also,
asked.
like female traveling alone. I mean, in your time when you were working, we did not even have mobile phones at that time, right?
But I think the circle that I worked in, that is my work environment, it was mostly, MNCs and corporates. So there it was very common.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. So maybe, and this kind of industry, it was like we were working hand in hand with ad agencies and, clients. So In that kind of industry, it was very common.
Okay, okay. But like you
Yeah.
always felt safe, like you were traveling
Uh,
among male
no, but
community.
I had to take care of myself. I had to take care of myself because, see, all said and done, my boss might be good, but I'm going out all alone, like stay railway station, airports, checking
Yeah.
into hotels, staying
Mm.
in hotels. I need to be vigilant and aware all the time. Even
Mm.
because you don't know, even while traveling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something that happens beyond your control is okay, but at least you should be very aware, very aware.
Mm. Especially in
Else,
India, you have to
that,
be
yeah,
aware of your clothing and who is around
yeah,
you. You have to be very conscious.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember once I had been to Kanpur. So I went to the field, and when I went to the field there, that field they told me, Madam, you are, like you are wearing such thick
Cold.
gold chain here. It is very riskier because for us, it is I can't remove it because it has the Mangal Sutra attached to it.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
can't remove it. Yeah. Uh, he told me that, no, madam, you have to be careful here. Here, there's a lot of robbery and theft, happening. It's not like your south. You shouldn't wear gold because, or then don't come out. Once you finish work and go back to the hotel, don't come out late evening. I said, no, I don't come out at all.
Mm. Also, at those times, like UP, Bihar, they were not quite safe, right?
I've never been to Bihar, but I've been to UP,
Mm-hmm.
all parts of UP. Yeah. And remote parts also, rural parts also.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But luckily, we have a good field setup. So everywhere, the field people are there to take care of us. But still, things can still happen because, like you're going, staying in a public place, hotel, you meet so many people who you don't know. So that way, we have to be really careful.
Hmm. I think Hindi worked in your favor, right? Of knowing Hindi so well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not only Hindi, knowing language, my language skill has only, that has only seen me through and made me what I am today. Why? Because when clients used to come and we used to have a group discussion, if it is in Chennai, it used to be in the local language, Tamil.
Tamil. Okay.
So I used to sit in the group and, with the client, I had to translate to him whatever is happening so that he gets the feel of it immediately,
Mm-hmm.
huh? And how the group is going, like what are they talking? And then since I knew Hindi, I could give him those feedback in Hindi also. So he was very happy that Hindi is a very known language to him. So he gets both Hindi as well as English. And I used to take down notes for him and, like give it to the client. So with that, they could develop their, whatever the brand faster.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, that really helped me.
Hmm. But I think whenever we South Indians talk in Hindi, the opposite person immediately recognizes, are you from South India? For the accent, we might
Yes,
be very
yes,
fluent, we
correct,
might know everything,
correct,
but I think
correct,
somehow we don't get that accent right. They'll immediately
correct,
find out, Madam, are you from
correct,
South India? They will ask.
correct,
Mm. But
correct.
I think in your
That
case,
is why yeah, that's because I was brought up in the north, one. And the second is, I feel that not only Hindi, any language when you're learning, while learning, you should learn it the way that language is spoken and not the way you want to learn it. Isn't it? Every language you see, like your language, Kannada, has a lot of H sound in it,
yeah,
isn't it? So I shouldn't pronounce it as her. It should be her. That pronunciation should be there. Otherwise, you can make out that, oh, she's a non-Kannadiga speaking Kannada, isn't it?
correct, correct. Yeah, many people don't even call
Likewise,
it
the same
Kannada.
thing. Yeah.
They just say
Ah,
Kannada.
ah, ah. So the
Mm.
same thing happens. That's why when the students come here, I first, 1 week it's only ha, kha, gha, like the pronunciation.
Okay, for Hindi.
Those sounds, because in Tamil we don't have ka, kha, ga, gha. So it's all ka, ka, ka for us.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that they don't know that if it's KHA, it's ka. What is the difference between khana, food, kana? They will say kana. I said
yeah,
kana is not food. Kana is a different word. Khana, KHANA.
yeah.
So you
To
should
get that,
give that, like,
yes, yes, the stress,
ah,
and not to get
yes,
that minute details also right, it is
yes,
difficult, and
yes.
that is why you teach Hindi, right? Because you should know.
Correct. Correct, correct. And people think that, like when it comes to English, people say accent is not important, right? But the correct pronunciation is very important.
Exactly. Right.
because the other person should understand what I'm telling, isn't
Mm.
it?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the word is not pronounced correctly, then you will not understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Mm.
So on that we need to work hard. That
Yeah.
comes right in the beginning.
That is why, like, you learned
This
Hindi living in Hindi speaking states. That is why you started learning Hindi, and that is why you learned it like
yes,
that. You
correct,
also got the
correct,
accent. For any language, it is
correct.
true, right? When people want to learn some kind of
Yes.
accent of English, it is like, I don't say it is impossible, but it is very difficult unless you learned it like that. If you take NRIs, their children, they learn English from a different country, they get that accent very easily.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like their mother tongue for them, no? So the
Yeah,
children don't know grammar, but they speak because that's what they are growing up in, no? The mother, father speaking that same thing.
yeah. But the
Like how our
parents have the
children pick
same
up our
Indian accent.
language.
Yeah, the parents have the same Indian accent, but children pick up the accent from that country.
Yeah, yeah, correct. That's because at a young age, you tend to pick up things easily, comparatively, than
Mm,
at older age. Not that you can't pick up, but what I mean to say is it'll take some time. At young
mm,
age, it won't because it comes. You don't have any other things in your mind, right? It comes naturally to you, and you
yeah.
don't have any hesitation, nothing. Even if
Mm,
you say something wrong, somebody laughs, you'll also laugh along with them, and then you, But when we are grown up, we don't do that. We feel so, like shy or we
Tune
what if
will.
I pronounce wrong? What if somebody, that hesitation is there.
Mm,
But those who don't have that kind of a personality, they can learn things easily because they don't have this what if, voila.
mm, mm. Right, yes. And if you want to go back in your life and change or redo something in a better way, what would it be?
I don't want to
No?
redo any of the part.
Okay, you're happy
No.
with whatever, like whatever you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have done a lot of, like a lot of things I may not have done right, but then that only has made me what I am today. So then I learned from my mistake that, oh, this should be done it this way. So I have no regrets.
But it's like you can go back and do it right at that time. Don't you think that?
I have never felt it
You never
that
felt.
way. Now
Okay.
that you are asking me, I'm forced to think about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never felt it.
Because I suddenly asked you this. Maybe if you sit down and think about it, maybe you will get
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sense
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Only thing that I regret for is maybe my parents could have lived a little bit longer. That is the
Yeah, but
only
that's
regret
not
that
under
I
your
have. Or
control.
else, yeah, yeah, or else nothing.
But what I feel when I was working, I should have been more financially responsible. Yeah, that is what I feel. And we have so much energy when we are younger. So it is better
Mm.
that we would have used that energy more well. We have so much
Correct,
potential back
correct,
then. That is what I feel.
correct, correct.
To us.
Mm.
Mm.
And that's because maybe, I have done every single thing on my own. I've never had anything offered to me. So
Mm.
maybe that is why I don't have that, what do you call it, regret? I don't
Yeah,
know.
repentance, regret, or whatever.
Ha.
And also, you
So in a
learned
way,
everything, and it was like a trial and error. You have to do and then get it. There was nobody to tell you.
correct, correct, correct. And I had to do it. Even, like when my mother put me into cooking when I was in seventh or eighth standard. So first she started with like, make chapatis for the night dinner. And then
Okay.
she said, cut vegetables and make vegetable gravy sabzi for the night dinner. So I used to ask her how much of salt, amma, and how much of, chili powder. She says, see, how much of vegetable you have. You should have a you should have an idea of this much is the vegetable, then what will be the salt amount required and what will be the masala amount required. Put it. Suppose if there is anything wrong, the next day you have to correct it. But do it yourself.
Learn
So
like that.
that's how I learned. That's how I learned.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She used to never tell you like put a half spoon or something, no?
Ah,
No?
no. He says no, no. She was not that. She was not that kind of a mom. That's why. That's why what I am today, I owe it to her because she made me do everything. Maybe at
Nice.
that time, maybe sometimes I felt, like, oh God, she's taxing me too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to
Even
tell her that,
everybody
like,
she's tough.
you are a military ruler. You should be a ruler somewhere, military rule. But then she said, yeah, but later on you'll realize. But then that's what happened.
And so, like many people complain, right? Maybe bigger families or we have a lot of work to do. But later we realize that that work has made us stronger later in life. for people who have not, worked really hard, either in relationships or physically in life, they, age faster, or they lose their, strength and stamina soon, I feel. But people have been through hardships and done so much of things, they kind of like 40s, 50s also, they still have that kind of strength.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
Correct. Yeah. And maybe, at a young age, I've been trained like that. I don't know. No, my nature also would have been, like that, exploring nature and taking on challenges at a very young age. Maybe that made me like that.
And did you ever wish, like in your entire journey, that you were a man, and like you belong to the
No,
opposite gender?
never, never, never,
Yeah.
never. This I can be 200% sure. No.
Okay, but I think, physically they have more strength, and they are like same.
Yeah.
They do not have mood swings. They will crave the same food all throughout the. I mean, like.
Yeah.
I sometimes
Yeah.
feel that they are
Physically,
like
we are strong.
lose their strength
I feel maybe you're right, maybe. But I feel that, like mentally we are stronger than them. So
mentally.
that's why we score. Yeah, we are stronger.
Hmm. But the cases of
And
mental
maybe as you said, yeah.
depression, all
Mm.
of this is, I think it is more in women compared to men.
No, I feel they also go through it. Maybe the way they express it is different.
Hmm.
They also, yeah, they also go through.
They tend to
Maybe
things
the
like,
way
alcohol or smoking. They tend to these kind of things.
correct, correct, correct. What if we don't we have pressure and tension? What if we also tend to go
Yeah,
into
that doesn't
such things?
cross our minds actually. We may cry, and maybe we'll go see a therapist. We take this direction. But men don't go here. I don't know. Only people who do it will be able to tell whether really alcohol solves this problem.
Correct, correct. Even I have never,
Yeah.
but I feel that we are mentally stronger and we are, and we are supplements. You can't call that one person is superior and one person is, inferior.
No, no,
We are,
no. Yeah. Like maybe in some aspects, I feel like obviously physically they are gifted, right? They are like you can't compare it in that way.
correct. Rather than supplements, we complement each other. See, a man cannot be complete without a woman because for certain things, all said and done, you need a woman. I strongly believe, Shanta, that, like if a man, if suppose, for example, a man's wife dies and he has young kids, he cannot take care of them alone. He needs somebody's support. Of
Mm.
course, leave out the exception cases. There are exceptional cases.
Yes,
But
yes.
in general, even people at home will say that, okay, let's get him married because then he needs, no, there should be someone to take care of the kids. But in case of women are not like that.
Mm.
Most women, they take care of their kids and, like worse, isn't it? There
And
are
their
many
parents also
worse
step
cases.
in. The girls' parents, they step in, and
Uh,
somehow they have the courage that we can't. Also, there is also a lot of taboo attached to it, right? Like a men getting
correct.
married is somewhat like okay, they got a second wife, but
Yeah.
a widow getting married is still like even now people
Correct.
thinking,
Correct. Correct. Correct.
and maybe
That's
that
what, it's all
tailoring
boils
process.
down to mindset.
Mm.
My
Okay.
mother was scared, Shanta. My mother was scared because she was a typical, what do you call it? Not very orthodox, but still an orthodox Brahmin lady who felt that, like her people around her may, she felt bad that what if somebody, like questions me? I said, who's going to question? If somebody questions, tell them to come and question me. I will answer them.
Yeah, but
But
people do
then,
not directly come and ask the person. They'll ask people around them, parents, relatives. How could you
uh,
let this
as
happen?
you said, as you said, Shanta, in my case, since it is in my case, then I realized whenever I went and told people who are very important in both the sides. But believe me, none of them said, like they didn't talk negative or even behind my back. So that means people, they are afraid of, bringing up this. But when somebody is doing it, they feel that, oh, yeah, yeah, this should be done. Maybe, I don't know. At that time, I felt it that like my father's brother, his wife, I went and told them that this she said, good, I'm very happy for you. And she is the number one, like gossiping lady. My mother was very scared of her. What if, like she gossips? I said, you don't worry, now I'll go and tell her.
Mm.
So only when she gets to know through somebody, she'll gossip. Now I went and told her that Jiti, this is this, I'm doing all this, and I require your help. And she said, don't worry. Like I went and I told her that, like you are the one who are going to see me through this. So I gave her that importance. So she felt very nice.
Felt honored about it. Also, another thing was your
Yeah.
son was very young at that time, right? He was very young. Hmm. Yeah, it's nice.
It was a touch and go situation. It was a gamble,
Hmm.
which could have gone anyway, isn't it? I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
I strongly believe that when you do good, good comes back to you. If a person knows about you, they won't talk about you in a certain way. But if
Correct.
you're already there, then definitely people will gossip and tell things about you. If you are not gossiping about them, people will not gossip about you. That's what I think.
Correct. Correct. And I knew what I was getting into. I knew what to expect, what not to expect. And I was ready to take on, like the pluses and the minus both. So
Mm.
it paid off ultimately. That's different because maybe I entered it, like into this with that mindset. Maybe. I don't know. Huh.
And now coming to this phase of your life, are you like bit relaxed because you don't have to juggle around so much for
Yeah,
work
yeah,
or
I'm relaxed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
enjoying this phase of your life?
Yeah, enjoying. That's what I told somebody the other day. I was talking to. I said, no, I'm reaping the benefits. But then for this, I had to slog a lot. Because
Yeah.
there are many who only see the result. They don't see the journey that you have been through,
Yeah.
isn't
Unless you're
it?
in that person's shoe, you don't know where it is going to bite. So yeah.
Correct.
So
So it
that
is
that
an
is what
uphill
even
task,
I.
and it will always be. Yeah,
That's why I make it a point to never judge people. We never know what they're
correct,
going through in their point of life. Yeah.
correct, correct. Exactly, you're right. Right. And see, nothing is stable in this world, Shanta. Nothing is stable. Everything is temporary. Nothing is stable and permanent. If
Mm.
if we believe that, oh yeah, this is permanent for me, then like we are the ones who are uh, fools. Because
Yeah.
we should be prepared for anything and everything anytime. Life
Mm.
gives you such surprises now. You will be thinking that I have everything set up. My life is going smooth. No, we don't even have control. The next day morning, I don't know whether I'm going to get up or not.
Yes. Yes.
After my sleep.
Yeah, you
So
can be
that
healthy when you're sleeping, and when you wake up, you might be terminally ill, diagnosed with something. Like, I feel like laughing when you
correct.
say, "Is this your own house? Is this your permanent job?" Anything can change anytime. Doesn't matter.
So be prepared for anything and everything. That's how my attitude is. Today
That's right.
I'm getting to eat 3 meals a day. Okay. Tomorrow I'll get only 2 meals. Fine. That also should be fine.
But from your end, you try to tell yourself that tomorrow is going to be okay. But also, you will accept it
Yeah.
if tomorrow is not okay.
Yeah. Correct. I'll make all the preparations as like my routine. But then making preparation is fine, but you should be even ready for the, like something that happens, which is not like you didn't plan for it. Even some unplanned things happen, you should be able to tackle it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I
Enough
didn't,
strength.
like I was not good at earlier. I learned it.
Okay.
I'm still practicing it. I'm
Hmm.
still practicing it. Because I learned this, I told you, I learned this from my son. He said, think on your feet, Ma. Every day is not going to be the same. Think on
Hmm.
your feet. He always tell me.
It's an
So now
advantage
it's a
to have
stage
a
where,
child
yeah,
who is an
yeah,
adult.
yeah. Correct, correct. Because if something or the other happens, he'll tell me, you live your life now. Don't think about me. You have thought about me enough. Now I have, I have my life now. You don't worry about me.
Also, he
I
was
don't
with
worry
you
now.
in
I
this
don't worry.
journey, right? So even he has seen ups and downs of your life, and
Correct.
he knows everything now.
He's been there with me throughout. So
Yeah.
right from his childhood, he has seen me. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, correct. That's how, now I'm in the stage where I have to accept that if my son is outside, he won't be able to come home. Like I won't be able to see him every day. I have to accept that also,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
since
exactly.
he moved out, because I can't tell him I can't live without you. You have to stay only with me. That's also rubbish, because this is his prime time, his age, which like his career peak.
Mm.
So I can't tell him, no, like, no, leave all that. You have to be at home. It's also
Mm.
not right. He
Huh?
has his life to lead.
Exactly. You
So
have
I
to
have to
let him
accept
live.
that. Yeah, I have to accept that.
Okay, the meeting is going to end
Why?
well.
Because oh yeah, yeah, correct,
I never
correct.
realized
Why?
that.
Because
Hmm?
because Earlier, I used to think that, my son was the only hope for me, but that changed.
Mm.
The moment I came out of my trauma, that changed. It was only till I was in the trauma for a year, I used to think that, my son is the lifeline, my son is the lifeline. Then slowly it changed for me.
You
It took
became
me
your
some,
lifeline.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, we will put somebody else under huge burden if we think like that, right? Like you are my life,
Correct,
you are
correct,
responsible for me.
correct,
It's
correct. When he was young, also luckily good. Now I tell him that don't worry about him. Me, I tell him that don't worry about. No, even monetarily, I am I am okay where I am, and I have things what I want. So you take care of yourself, and you look, you think about your future. I don't, his future shouldn't be, he shouldn't take decision based on, oh, I have to leave my mother and go. No, I won't be able to
exactly,
do it. So he
exactly.
also shouldn't have that thought. Yeah,
And he shouldn't sacrifice anything like that, right?
that, that,
Mm.
that.
Okay. Okay, then anything else, ma'am, before we wind up?
Nothing. Yeah. You tell me now, how are you today? What is your mindset today?
This is the first session after like almost 2 months. So that time was very traumatizing for me. Still, if I remember that, I feel really depressed, like about health issues. But I'm just starting today. So I was a bit anxious. I think it happens with everyone. And also people who are the first time on video calls and they say that they're nervous and a lot of emotions running. I think everybody needs so
Mm.
much of courage to do that. Once you give a break to something that you're doing, you don't feel like doing it again. Or it will take a lot of
Correct.
time for you. I was okay to
Get back
start.
to that normalcy. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
correct.
okay to take sessions like 10 days ago, but I could have started, but I kept pushing on, do I really need to do? So that initial itch was there, but I wanted to do it. Sooner or later, I had to start it. So I just started it today. So that is what I was being prepared for since morning. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I'm also happy
Yeah. Mm.
because as I keep telling people that, my first session was with you. So I have a special bond with you.
Yeah, yeah. And I
I
was
told
in
somebody it's
touch
like my
with you,
first
right?
child feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like we were in touch,
Correct.
right? Through text also. Like you kept
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
and you knew exactly
Correct.
what was going on. So yeah,
Correct.
thank
Correct.
you so
Correct.
much for it. And like we don't know each other, but still through social media we get like
Ah,
good bonding. There are
correct.
many other
Correct.
people also
Yeah.
who message me,
Yes.
mail me and asking, is everything okay? Why are you not mailing? Why are you not uploading?
Okay.
So it really feels good that people are concerned. They're asking what happened
Correct.
to you.
Correct. 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 But these are the pluses of social media. Yeah.
I'm
You
really
get to
glad
know
for
people. Yeah.
that. Okay, ma'am, then we'll wind it up here. Thank you so much again.
Bye bye. And thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.